So, Adobe decided to throw away Lumetri Color, then steal the color page from DaVinci Resolve and drop it straight into Premiere. And now we have this. I'm just kidding, they're working very hard to improve our workflow. And I gotta say, it's looking great. Now in this video, let's see how good it actually is. First of all, the Lumetri Color panel we all know and love is, gone. Which I think is a bad idea. The effect still exists, which is great, but the panel is gone. Which makes it feel like Adobe plans to remove Lumetri forever. Adobe, please don't, because Lumetri Color is still very useful, especially for small adjustments or VFX. Alright, let's get started. Step number 1. Setting up your footage for color grading. Most cameras and some smartphones allow you to shoot in a lock color profile. That looks like this, very flat. This lock profile gives you way more dynamic range, which in short means more control when color grading. So step 1 is converting it from a lock to a Rec. 709 color profile, which means normalizing your video. And then we'll do creative color grading to make it look beautiful. Now to do that, go to the window menu on top and open up the color management tab. Now let me fold all these tabs in here. Okay, now head over to the project tab. In here, check the color manage auto detected log and raw media. As you can see, my footage is now converted to Rec. 709. If Premiere doesn't recognize the camera your footage was shot with, you'll need to do this manually, like with this clip right here. To do that, make sure that clip is selected. Then again, go to the color management tab and now head over to the source clip. In here, click override media color space and then select the right LUT for your camera. You can easily look that up online if you don't know. Also, you can download the correct LUT for your camera and import it right here. That will also work. Alright, now that we've set everything up, it's time to start color grading. We'll start with this beautiful cinematic clip that we've just turned into a Rec. 709 color profile. Let's go to the color space. I'm gonna quickly go over all the panels here. So the big screen is your program monitor. You can scrub through your clip right here, and on the right side you can actually see your timeline. All the clips in your timeline will be visible in here chronologically, and to make adjustments we will have to select one of them first. Now as I said, you can use this timeline to scrub through your video, but if you click this switch it will switch to your entire sequence. So now you're scrubbing your entire timeline. And the cool thing is Premiere will auto select the clip based on where your playhead is. So yeah, that is amazing. At the bottom, that's where we'll make the adjustments. You can make an adjustment to your selected clip or to your entire sequence. To add an adjustment, you can use one of these buttons or click the plus icon right here and choose add adjustments. Alright, now these controls are in my opinion very amazing. On the left you can change the contrast and in the middle you'll find color shift. By the way, at the bottom you'll find these color presets. What's cool about this part is that these colors are actually the colors from your video. Premiere automatically detects them. Look at what happens when I select another clip. Those colors change. This makes it a lot easier and faster to adjust saturation, hue or luma. Alright, now let's say I want to change the contrast. Then just left click it once and then move your mouse up or down to adjust it. In the meantime, you'll see an updated version of the luma curve appear while doing that. If you're happy, just left click again and then the adjustment is locked in. We're changing the global settings now, by the way. If I increase the exposure, Premiere will increase the exposure of the entire spectrum. If you select the moon button, all the color and contrast changes will be applied only to the shadows of your video. And then of course, if you select the little sun right here, the changes will be applied to the highlights of your video. Now, that's how all of these controls work. For example, let me push a little blue into the video to make it look like it's morning. There you go. Alright, now let's go into more detail. We're gonna create this beautiful sequence together, but first I want to show you something that will make your videos look cinematic. This is an effect called Hazy from Film Convert. It's a mist filter plugin that lets you add beautiful lens diffusion in post-production. Once applied, it already adds a subtle haze to your video. I love it. Now usually how I use Hazy is I make sure my color space is set up correctly, and then I pick a filter style and strength. I kinda go back and forth between these two. Same thing with intensity and spread. I'll go back and forth between those two, fine-tuning them until it looks exactly how I want. The subtle bloom and dreamy glow you'll get from this plugin are the effects you usually get from physical mist filters. These effects in here are actually inspired by them. Oh, and important to know, this plugin is a one-time payment, no subscription. And of course, You can try it out for free down below. Look at the customizability you get. You'll be able to change the white balance, give it the temperature and tint you need, then saturation, exposure. Once you've used a physical mist filter on your lens, there's no going back in post. With Hazy, you can basically swap mist filters and customize them until they're perfect. This plugin works in Premiere, Final Cut and DaVinci Resolve. Again, if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link down below. Thanks Hazy so much for sponsoring this video. Alright, here we are again in the color space. This interrogation scene looks like they're just hanging out, having a cup of coffee. That clip was AI generated, by the way. It's crazy what you can do with a screenshot nowadays. Anyway, I want this clip to look more cold and prison-like. Let's do that. So first, let's create a new clip adjustment like this. There we go. As you can see, we're now making adjustments to the entire light spectrum, from the whites to the blacks. Let's start by adding a little contrast. Again, just click the contrast button once, then move your mouse up or down to change the contrast and carefully look at the luma curve. There you go. Maybe we can add a little exposure as well. Oh, that's way too much. Alright, that's better. Let's isolate the highlights and change the exposure of the shadows a little. Okay, that's a lot better. Let me hide the clip adjustment for a moment just so you can see the difference. I mean, amazing, right? Alright, now let's see if we can do something for the highlights as well. Now, I don't think it's necessary to increase the exposure here. Let's change the temperature and tint of our shot. I want it to feel more cold, so I'm gonna need blue, but also a bit of a dirty look. Like there's a fluorescent lamp hanging somewhere, even though there isn't. Okay, this is starting to look awesome. Let's play around with the saturation as well. Again, click it once, then move your mouse on your flat clicker, and there you go. Now, you already understand how the color shift section works, but let's do it again. So we have these colors of our video that Premiere detected. Orange, for example, is pre-detected at a hue of 6%. Now, maybe the orange in my video isn't exactly 6%, and if you want to change that, you can always grab the color picker and select a color in your video. In our case, the orange colors, of course. There you go. And now you can play around with the color shift controls. If you want to change hue, you can easily do that in here. Same for the saturation. These wheels are all applied to the color you selected with your color picker. Let's change the luma too. Why not? There you go. The texture and sharpness are used in the exact same way as the other adjustments. Alright, now I want to apply this look to my entire sequence. To do that, you can just select it in the timeline, then hit Ctrl+C on your keyboard to copy the color effects, and then paste them on the other clips as well by selecting them, and then hitting Ctrl+V on your keyboard. Of course, you can do that on multiple clips at once. And now you can go ahead and make micro adjustments to every clip individually. I truly love the color shift section. I'm already practicing a lot with the color page and I don't have much negative feedback. I'm already playing around with my studio recordings. I mean, look at the before and after from Rec 709 to Creative. Looks great, doesn't it? Especially since this is still in beta. I am really excited to see how this evolves and of course what the final version will be. But Adobe, please leave Lumetri Color alone. Bring that panel back as soon as possible because we all love it. I know you guys are probably afraid that we're not gonna use the color page if you leave in Lumetri, but I'm convinced that that's not the case because I think the color page is already amazing in its current state, and I'm sure it'll get even better. Alright, now I just made this cool bouncy text animation in Premiere, and if you want to learn how to do that, click the video right here on your left. Thank you guys so much for watching.